Good morning. Please let me know whether I am clearly audible.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So I would like to welcome you all. 26th lecture on of thermodynamics. So because of some technical issues and network connectivity problem, many students are not able to join the yesterday's lecture. So I'm going to repeat the yesterday's lecture. Because of that technical issue, many students not able to join the yesterday's session. So we started previous session, last lecture, with solving one numerical on steady flow devices, first law of thermodynamics. So please let me know whether the page is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in yesterday's lecture, we solved this numerical as a challenge, or this numerical is given to check whether you are able to solve the any type of numerical on first law of thermodynamics, particularly steady flow energy equation. Okay, so this is a typical numerical. Okay, so again, you please read the sentences in this numerical. Okay. So this is the numerical. Okay, a centrifugal pump delivers 2800 kg per minute of water by increasing a pressure from 0.9 bar to 3 bar. Okay, so according to this first sentence, mass of water delivered by centrifugal pump is given. Okay, and again we know centrifugal pump is a steady flow device, so it is operating for longer duration under certain condition. So under same condition it is operating for longer duration. If we take an example of agriculture pump, which is used for irrigation purpose in farming, so that pump is operating under same condition for longer duration. जब तक लोड शेडिंग नहीं होता है तब तक वो सेंट्रीफ्यूगल पंप कंटिन्यूसली ऑन रहता है. ओके, so this numerical is based on centrifugal pump. So from first sentence we come to know that the steady flow device is centrifugal pump. Mass of water delivered by centrifugal pump is 2800 kg per minute. So we converted this kg per minute into kg per second. Okay, so we divide it with 60, so we get mass of water. Okay, and again centrifugal pump is steady flow device. Okay, so mass of water entering into the centrifugal pump is equal to mass of water leaving the centrifugal pump, so it is 46.66 kg per second. Then again it is given the pressure of water is increasing from 0.9 bar to 3 bar. Okay, so let's say P1 is the inlet pressure or the pressure of water entering into the pump, so it is given as 0.9 bar. Let's say P2 is the pressure of the water leaving or delivered by the centrifugal pump, so it is given as 3 bar. Okay, so if you see here, according to this sentence, pressure is increasing from 0.9 bar to 3 bar. Okay, now let's come to the next statement. The suction is 3 meter below and delivery is 6 meter above the center of the pump. Okay, so for that we have drawn one rough sketch of a centrifugal pump. So let's say this is a centrifugal pump, this is the suction or inlet of the centrifugal pump, it is also called as the suction line, and this is the outlet of the centrifugal pump. So generally inlet we represent with state 1, outlet with state 2. Okay, and according to the given sentence, let's say this is the center of the centrifugal pump, so this suction is 3 meter below the center line and discharge is 6 meter above the center line. Okay, so if we add this two distance, two elevations, we come to know that the distance between suction line and delivery line is 9 meter. Okay, and from this we can calculate the Z2 minus Z1. that is change in elevation. Okay, so for that let's consider this is the bottom of the well. Suppose this centrifugal pump is fitted in a well to fetch the underground water. Okay, so this is the bottom of the well, and let's say this suction pipe is at a elevation of Z1 from the ground, from the bottom, and discharge is at a distance of Z2 from the ground. So if we take Z2 minus Z1, so Z2 is to this total distance, we are removing Z1, okay, and according to the given data, Z2 minus Z1 is equal to 9 meter. That is the meaning of this sentence. Okay, hope you understood this. Clear? Eh? Okay, and again come to the next statement. Find the capacity of the electrical motor connected to the pump. Again you know pump required a power consuming device. ठीक है, उसको एक्सटर्नल वर्क लगता है, पावर लगता है टू ऑपरेट द पंप. ओके, सो दिस वर्क इज गिवन बाय इलेक्ट्रिकल मोटर. तो इलेक्ट्रिकल मोटर होगा, जैसे ही हम इलेक्ट्रिकल स्विच ऑन करेंगे, सो करंट विल फ्लो थ्रू द वाइंडिंग्स ऑफ द electrical motor. So EMF will be generated, rotor start to rotate, and this rotor is connected with the impeller shaft, or impeller rotate hoga, and the water is delivered. Water is delivered from low level to high level. So this is the working of a centrifugal pump, and we have to find the capacity of the electrical motor. कितने साइज का मोटर लगेगा, कितने साइज का इलेक्ट्रिकल मोटर लगेगा according to these given conditions. Okay, so we have to find the power input to the pump. And again additional data is given. The diameter of suction and delivery pipes are 18 centimeter and 12 centimeter respectively. So let's say D1 is the diameter of the suction pipe or inlet pipe. So it is given as 18 centimeter. So convert it into meter. So it will be 0.18 meter. Let's say D2 is the diameter of the delivery pipe or outlet pipe. It is given as 12 centimeter. So in meter it will be 0.12 meter. Then write the general steady flow energy equation. So Q minus W is equal to delta H plus delta K plus delta P. Okay. So here there is no change in temperature of the water. Water का temperature same ही रहता है. Whatever water is sucked from the well, the water is delivered through delivery pipe at a almost same temperature. ज़्यादा temperature में फर्क नहीं होता है. So here we can take Q as 0. Similarly, delta H, that is change in enthalpy, it will be 0. Okay, and elevations are given, so we can calculate change in potential energy. So it will be G into Z2 minus Z1 divided by 1000. So Z2 minus Z1 is 9 meter. So we calculated change in potential energy. Okay, so change in potential energy is this much. Okay, similarly we need to calculate other form of energy. Okay, so if you again go through the given data, so from given data you will come to know that it is possible to calculate the velocity of water entering and the velocity of water leaving the centrifugal pump. So for that, diameters of the pumps are given, and again we know the continuity equation. M is equal to A1 C1 upon V1, that is equal to A2 C2 upon V2, and again we know 1 by V is equal to rho, where rho is the density. So this is the density. We studied in fundamentals, reciprocal of specific volume is density. So let's take a inlet suction conditions. So M1 is the mass of water sucked in, that is equal to A1 C1 into rho 1. Okay, and it is given mass of water is 46.66 kg per second. Okay, and again diameter of a pipe. So diameter of a cylinder is pi by 4 d square. Okay. So instead of A1 we have written here pi by 4 d1. D1 is given as 0.18 square. C1 is unknown into 1000 kg per meter cube, where 1000 is the density of water. Okay. So from this we calculated C1. So C1 is 1.834 meter per second. Okay. Similarly, we calculated C2. So it is 4.127 meter per second. And once we know the velocity, we can calculate change in kinetic energy. So it will be C2 square minus C1 square upon 2000. So from this we calculated change in kinetic energy. So change in kinetic energy is 0.0136 kilojoule per kg. Now put this value in steady flow energy equation. So minus W is equal to, this is change in kinetic energy, this is change in potential energy. So we get work required to drive the pump. So it is minus 0.1034 kilojoule per kg. But we have to calculate the power of an electrical motor that is connected to a pump. So work is in kilojoule per kg. So if you multiply this with mass flow rate in kg per second, so kg get cancelled, and lastly we get power of an electrical motor. So it is 4.82 kilowatt. Okay. So generally electrical motors are available in standard size. Okay. So we are going to select a electrical motor of 5 kilowatt. Electrical motors are available in standard sizes. Okay. So according to this, according to the given conditions, the power of an electrical motor that is connected to a centrifugal pump is 4.82 kilowatt. Okay. So this numerical is clear. So this is the one of the typical numerical on steady flow energy equation. Okay. So trick for solving this numerical, such kind of numericals, go through the given data. Okay. Make a rough sketch. Okay. Rough sketch draw करना है, free hand sketch draw करना है. Okay. Draw a rough sketch. From rough sketch you will get an idea. You will get idea of a given data, and once you listed down the given data, once you listed down the given data, then you can use the general steady flow energy equation. Again you write down the general steady flow energy equation, and from the given data try to interpret the forms of energy that are applicable to a particular device. जैसे यहाँ पे सेंट्रीफ्यूगल पंप है, तो सेंट्रीफ्यूगल पंप में कौन कौन से एनर्जी होंगे, कौन कौन से एनर्जी ट्रांसफर होंगे, दैट यू कैन इंटरप्रेट फ्रॉम द गिवन डाटा. गिवन डाटा के ऊपर से आप इंटरप्रेट कर सकते हो. ओके. क्लियर है? ओके. So in previous yesterday's lecture we started the unit number 3. Again please let me know whether the presentation screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you Pradeep. Okay, so almost we solved 10 to 11 numericals on steady flow devices, and as per me these much numericals are sufficient. Okay, so already I shared ebook with you, so try to solve unsolved numericals that are given in the book. Okay, and if you have any doubt, please contact me. You can post in the chat box, or you can even WhatsApp me. Okay, my number is available on the group, WhatsApp group. Okay, और कुछ सजेशन होगा तो आप बता सकते हो. ओके, जैसे कल एक स्टूडेंट ने पूछा था, सर प्लीज शेयर MCQ विथ अस ऑन यूनिट नंबर 1 and 2. ओके, so I shared multiple choice question on unit number 1 and 2 in a channel. अगर आप थर्मोडायनामिक चैनल में जाते हो तो वहाँ फाइल टैब में you will get a MCQ. Okay, so similarly I am going to share the material with you regularly. ठीक है, आपके जैसे जैसे सजेशन होंगे जैसे जैसे डिमांड होंगे, according to that I am going to share the material with you. Okay. So unit 3, it is based on second law of thermodynamics. Okay, so in unit 1 we studied fundamental concepts and definitions. Okay, जैसे important definitions कौन से? System, types of system, what do you mean by property, extensive property, intensive property, path function, point function, then energy. What is energy? Types of energy. Okay, stored energy and transit energy. Stored energy में आते हैं kinetic energy, potential energy, internal energy are the stored energies, and generally stored energies are point function or state function, and energy in transit, particularly heat and work. These are the important phenomena which are observed across the boundaries of the system. Okay, and there is continuously heat and work interaction between system and surrounding. Okay, so if you take an example of let's take an example of a centrifugal pump. तो centrifugal pump में क्या हो रहा है? Potential energy, kinetic energy are the stored energies. Okay, and there is one work interaction between system and surrounding. System को work दिया गया है. Okay, because the flow of water in centrifugal pump is against the nature. Naturally जो water flow होता है या fluid flow होता है, it is from high level to low level. Liquid जो flow होता है, it always flows naturally from high level to low level. But if you want to fetch a water from bottom low level to high level, it is against the nature. So that's why we need an external work. Okay, so work is given to the system to lift that water or liquid from low level to high level. Okay, so now let's come to the second law of thermodynamics. So these are the contents. So first we started in yesterday's lecture limitation of first law of thermodynamics. Then we'll see cyclic heat engine, refrigerator and heat pump. Okay, if you see cyclic heat engine, most of the vehicles are using internal combustion engines, IC engines. Okay, so they are nothing but a cyclic heat engine. Thermal power plants, they are again a cyclic heat engine. Okay, and the main difference between internal combustion engine and thermal power plant is, in internal combustion engine, combustion of fuel takes place inside the engine, and thermal power plants are nothing but external combustion engines, EC engines. Okay, and in thermal power plants or EC engines, external combustion engine, it is generated or combustion of fuel takes place outside the engine. Okay, then we will see refrigerator or refrigeration system and heat pump. And from the concept or theory of heat engine, refrigerator and heat pump, we'll see the statements of second law of thermodynamics. So there are two statements of second law of thermodynamics, Kelvin, Planck and Clausius statement. At first sight, both statements look different. Okay, but if you analyze the both statements, we come to know that both statements are equivalent. Okay, so we are going to prove the equivalence of Kelvin, Planck and Clausius statement in this topic. Then there is concept of reversibility and irreversibility. ठीक है, कौन सा प्रोसेस रिवर्सिबल होगा और कौन सा प्रोसेस इरिवर्सिबल होगा. Then after that, Carnot cycle, Carnot theorem, and then lastly absolute temperature scale. So let's come to the limitation of first law of thermodynamics. Okay, so the first limitation. Okay, so please read both the limitations, then I will elaborate more on limitation of first law of thermodynamics. I hope you read both the limitations of first law of thermodynamics. Okay, so first limitation is, it does not specify direction of heat flow. Okay, so first law of thermodynamics does not specify the direction of heat flow. Okay, so to understand this, let's take an example of hot cup of tea. So you observe in day-to-day life, hot cup of tea. That's why I have taken this example to explain the first limitation. Okay, so when the hot tea is poured in a cup, and if we kept that hot cup of tea in an atmosphere for some time interval, let's say 5 minutes, okay, and the initial temperature of tea is, let's say, 70 degrees Celsius, and it is kept in a room for a 5 minutes, okay, so what will happen after 5 minutes? क्या होगा 5 मिनट के बाद? अगर हमने चाय
It will cool.
it will cool, or it will come to the room temperature. Perfect, very good. Okay, so we observe this phenomenon very commonly in day to day life. ठीक है, चाय का कप अगर हमने एटमॉस्फेयर में ऐसे ही छोड़ दिया 5 मिनट के लिए तो ठंडा हो जाएगा, एंड द टेम्परेचर ऑफ टी इज इक्वल टू द टेम्परेचर ऑफ रूम अप्रोक्सीमेटली. ओके, तो ये फिनोमिना हम ऑब्जर्व करते हैं डे टू डे लाइफ में. अगेन इफ वी केप दैट कप ऑफ टी अगेन फॉर नेक्स्ट 5 मिनट into the room, then according to first law of thermodynamics, that tea should regain its original temperature. That is first law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics क्या कहता है? Heat is equal to work and work is equal to heat, mutually convertible. ठीक है, तो ये हिसाब से फर्स्ट लॉ के लॉजिक से अगर हमने चाय फिर से नेक्स्ट 5 मिनट के लिए रूम एटमॉस्फेयर में वैसे ही रख दिया तो चाय का फिर से जो इनिशियल टेम्परेचर था 70 डिग्री सेल्सियस वो रीगेन होना चाहिए. लेकिन ऐसा होता है क्या? ऐसा होता है?
नो सर.
No, sir.
नहीं होता है. अगर आपने वो चाय उठा के धूप में भी रख दी, सनलाइट में भी रख दी, 5 मिनट के लिए, 5 मिनट क्या 1 घंटे के लिए भी रख दिया, 2 घंटे के लिए भी रख दिया, तो टी विल नेवर रिगेन इट्स ओरिजिनल टेम्परेचर. सो व्हाट इट इंडिकेट्स? फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनामिक्स डज नॉट स्पेसिफाई द डायरेक्शन ऑफ हीट फ्लो. ठीक है, दूसरा एग्जांपल लेते हैं टू अंडरस्टैंड द फर्स्ट लिमिटेशन. दूसरा एग्जांपल लेते हैं मोटरसाइकिल. ऑलमोस्ट ऑल ऑफ अस आर ड्राइविंग द मोटरसाइकिल और स्कूटर. ठीक है, आप मोटरसाइकिल या स्कूटर पे जा रहे हैं, ठीक है, बीच में खड्डा आ गया, आप क्या करते हो? व्हाट यू डू? खड्डा आ गया बीच में, क्या करते हो? अरे बताओ क्या करते हो? सडनली आप ड्राइविंग कर रहे हो, बीच में खड्डा आ गया या स्पीड ब्रेकर आ गया, व्हाट वी नॉर्मली डू?
ब्रेक.
स्पीड कम करते.
ब्रेक अप्लाई करते. करेक्ट करेक्ट, परफेक्ट, वेरी गुड. ठीक है, एकदम कॉमन एग्जांपल. स्कूटर, कार चला रहे या मोटरसाइकिल चला रहे, बीच में खड्डा आ गया या स्पीड ब्रेकर आ गया या सडनली कोई आ गया सामने, सो वी अप्लाई द ब्रेक, सडनली वी पुल द ब्रेक लेवर. ठीक है, ब्रेक लेवर प्रेस करते हैं हम तो आपका व्हीकल स्टॉप हो जाता है. ठीक है, थोड़ा बहुत स्कीडिंग होता है, सडनली ब्रेक अप्लाई किया तो, लेकिन वो स्टॉप हो जाता है. ठीक है, तो हाउ दैट व्हीकल स्टॉप? 40-60 किलोमीटर से आपका स्कूटर व्हीकल मूव हो रहा है और सडनली आपने ब्रेक अप्लाई किए, व्हीकल का स्पीड 0 हो जाता है, इट स्टॉप आफ्टर स्कीडिंग और आफ्टर सम डिस्टेंस इट विल स्टॉप. तो एग्जैक्टली क्या होता है व्हेन वी अप्लाई ब्रेक? क्या मैकेनिज्म होता है? बता सकता है कोई? व्हाट हैपन्स व्हेन वी सडनली अप्लाई द ब्रेक? व्हीकल तो स्टॉप हो जाता है, बट मैकेनिज्म क्या होता है? ब्रेकिंग का मैकेनिज्म क्या होता है?
Sir, as we apply brake, the friction occurs between the tire rim and the brushes.
करेक्ट
Therefore, the friction reduces the speed.
correct, perfect, very good. Okay, so this is the mechanism of applying brake to any vehicle. ठीक है, स्कूटर चला रहे हैं, 40-50 के स्पीड से स्कूटर चला रहे हैं, सडनली हमने ब्रेक अप्लाई किए, व्हीकल का स्पीड 0 हो जाता है, वो जगह पे रुक जाता है. ओके, सो अगेन वी स्टडीड लॉ ऑफ कंजर्वेशन ऑफ एनर्जी. तो व्हीकल जब चल रहा है तो उसको काइनेटिक एनर्जी होता है. ठीक है, तो हमने ब्रेक अप्लाई किया, काइनेटिक एनर्जी तो 0 हो गया. लॉ ऑफ कंजर्वेशन ऑफ एनर्जी क्या कहता है? एनर्जी इज नाइदर क्रिएटेड नॉट डिस्ट्रॉयड. तो एनर्जी डिस्ट्रॉय नहीं होगा, 0 नहीं होगा, सो दैट काइनेटिक एनर्जी विल चेंज इट्स फॉर्म. तो काइनेटिक एनर्जी कौन से फॉर्म में जाएगा? इट विल गेट कन्वर्टेड इनटू फ्रिक्शनल एनर्जी. करेक्ट? Okay, same thing the first law of thermodynamics is telling. So that vehicle is moving with a kinetic energy. So its kinetic energy get converted into frictional energy, and that frictional energy is converted into heat energy. बराबर है? And your vehicle will stop. ठीक है, हीट एनर्जी में कन्वर्ट होगा एंड दैट हीट इज रिलीज टू द एटमॉस्फेयर. ठीक है, अभी उल्टा करते हैं. आपने ब्रेक लीवर रिलीज कर दिया फिर से. ओके, सो अकॉर्डिंग टू फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनामिक्स, एज सून एज यू रिलीज द ब्रेक लीवर, योर व्हीकल शुड रीगेन द ओरिजिनल स्पीड. आपका जो ओरिजिनल स्पीड था 40-50 जो भी होगा, 40-50-100, ओके, सो दैट स्पीड शुड बी रीगेन एज सून एज द ब्रेक लीवर इज रिलीज. लेकिन ऐसा होता है क्या? वेदर सच थिंग हैपन इन एक्चुअल? आपने जैसे ही ब्रेक लीवर रिलीज किया, आपका व्हीकल रीगेन कर लेता है ओरिजिनल स्पीड?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
We have to work on it to
Okay,
increase speed.
okay, correct. As soon as you release the brake lever, again you have to do the acceleration, and then after some time, after some cruising, you will come to the, you will regain the speed. But according to first law of thermodynamics, as soon as you release the brake lever, again that heat energy should be converted into the kinetic energy, and vehicle should regain your vehicle should regain its initial speed, but that does not happen. Okay, so it is due to that first law of thermodynamics does not specify the direction of heat flow, only it speak about conversion of heat into work and work into heat. ठीक है, काइनेटिक एनर्जी का कन्वर्जन तो हीट एनर्जी में हो गया, and that heat is released to the atmosphere when we apply a brake. But again, if same heat is given to the brake, vehicle never going to regain the, or heat energy is never going to convert into directly into the kinetic energy, initial kinetic energy. Okay, so means the first law of thermodynamics only says about conversion of one form of energy into another form of energy, but first law does not specify the direction. कौन से डायरेक्शन में हीट फ्लो होगा या कौन से डायरेक्शन में एनर्जी ट्रांसफर होगा, that is not given by first law of thermodynamics. Okay, so this is the first limitation. And second limitation, इसको ज़्यादा explanation देने की जरूरत नहीं है, you are well aware with this. Heat and work are mutually convertible according to first law of thermodynamics, but again we know the fact it is not possible to convert all heat into work. ये कभी भी पॉसिबल नहीं है कि लेट्स टेक एग्जांपल ऑफ द अगेन मोटरसाइकिल और स्कूटर. तो आपका मोटरसाइकिल और स्कूटर में जितना फ्यूल बर्न होगा, उससे जो भी हीट लिबरेट होगी ड्यू टू कंबशन ऑफ फ्यूल, दैट अमाउंट ऑफ हीट लिबरेटेड इज वेरी लार्ज. सो ऑल हीट इज नॉट कन्वर्टेड इनटू वर्क, सम हीट इज रिजेक्टेड. और रिजेक्ट कैसे होती है हीट व्हीकल में से? आपके इंजन में जो हीट जनरेट होता है ड्यू टू कंबशन ऑफ फ्यूल, कंबशन फ्यूल का इंजन में होता है, और ड्यू टू कंबशन ऑफ फ्यूल हीट इज लिबरेटेड. ऑल हीट इज नॉट कन्वर्टेड इनटू वर्क, उसमें से कुछ हीट जो रिजेक्ट हो जाता है सराउंडिंग को. हाउ दैट हीट इज रिजेक्टेड? कौन से फॉर्म में रिजेक्ट होता है हीट फ्रॉम द इंजन टू द सराउंडिंग? बताओ कौन से फॉर्म में हीट रिजेक्ट होता है? आर यू गेटिंग व्हाट आई वांट टू आस्क यू? इंजन है मोटरसाइकिल का या कार का, उसमें कंबशन होगा फ्यूल का. ठीक है, कंबशन से क्या होगा? हीट रिलीज होगा. ओके, सो वट एवर हीट इज रिलीज, सम हीट इज कन्वर्टेड इन मोशन ऑफ द पिस्टन. आपका पिस्टन मूव होगा, और पिस्टन जैसे ही मूव होगा, you will get a power on
Sir,
crankshaft.
in the form of radiation.
और मीडियम कौन सा होगा?
Medium, sir, air or cylinder means engine.
मीडियम होगा आपका प्रोडक्ट ऑफ कंबशन. सो प्रोडक्ट ऑफ कंबशन होते हैं फ्लू गैसेस और एग्जॉस्ट गैसेस विच आर रिलीज थ्रू अ साइलेंसर. आउटलेट वाल होता है, आउटलेट वाल को कनेक्ट होता है साइलेंसर, एंड थ्रू साइलेंसर द फ्लू गैसेस आर रिलीज टू द एटमॉस्फेयर. ओके, और टच करके देखा कभी फ्लू गैसेस को? जो गैसेस साइलेंसर में से बाहर आते हैं, कितना टेम्परेचर होता है उसका? मोर देन 100 डिग्री सेल्सियस। और गलती से साइलेंसर को रनिंग में हाथ लगा दिया तो क्या होता है, स्किन जल जाती है। मीन्स द टेम्परेचर ऑफ द फ्लू गैसेस विच इज थ्रोन आउट फ्रॉम द इंजिन थ्रू साइलेंसर, देयर टेम्परेचर इज मोर देन 100 डिग्री सेल्सियस। तो उसका मतलब क्या है, जितना भी हीट लिबरेट हुआ ड्यू टू कंबशन, some part is converted into mechanical work and the remaining heat is rejected from engine through outlet valve, and the medium for rejecting the heat is the flue gases, product of combustion. The flue gases is combination of carbon dioxide, hydrocarbon, water vapors, all are released through silencer. Correct? Okay. So this is the second limitation. So heat and work are mutually convertible according to first law of thermodynamics, but it is a fact it is not possible to convert all heat into work. वैसे ही थर्मल पावर प्लांट में जब फ्यूल बर्न होता है, कंबशन होता है फ्यूल का फर्नेस में, some heat is used to convert that water into steam and remaining heat is released through chimney. चिमनी में से फ्लो गैसेस बाहर जाते हैं. Again that flue gases is having temperature more than 100 डिग्री सेल्सियस. मतलब टेम्परेचर गैसेस का जितना ज़्यादा होगा उतना हीट रिजेक्शन ज़्यादा होगा. Okay, that's why nowadays vehicles are fitted with EGR, BS6 vehicles. EGR is mandatory. क्या होता है EGR? If you are passionate about the automobiles, तो आपका नॉलेज अपडेटेड होगा रिगार्डिंग द व्हीकल्स. ओके, सो BS6 vehicles it is mandatory to have a EGR. EGR means exhaust gas recirculation, because exhaust gases temperature is very high, more than 100 degrees Celsius. So we can reutilize that heat by passing some amount of exhaust gases again into the engine. ठीक है, तो कुछ एग्जॉस्ट गैसेज 10-15% एग्जॉस्ट गैसेज जो एटमॉस्फेयर में रिलीज होंगे साइलेंसर में से, that exhaust gases are recirculated, means they are again given back to the inlet valve and again they will enter into the engine cylinder, again combustion will take place. Okay, so this EGR, exhaust gas recirculation, reduce the amount of NOx which is released by the vehicle. ठीक है, vehicles में से जो emissions आते हैं they are harmful to the surrounding, और उसमें एक element होता है NOx, नाइट्रोजन ऑक्साइड. दे आर लीडिंग टू एसिड रेन, आपने केमिस्ट्री में पढ़ा होगा. एंड दे आर वेरी हार्मफुल टू द लिविंग थिंग्स एज वेल एज टू द इन्वायरमेंट. दे आर कॉन्ट्रीब्यूटिंग टू द ग्लोबल वार्मिंग एज वेल एज एसिड रेन. दैट्स वाई देर आर सर्टन इमिशन नॉर्म्स. ओके, तो उसमें NOx का कितना होना चाहिए वो दिया हुआ है, और NOx अगर कम करना है देन EGR is one of the technique which used to reduce the NOx, carbon monoxide and hydrocarbon emissions. So तीनों emissions कम होते हैं EGR से. Okay, and again the amount of exhaust gases that are released to the atmosphere, again they get reduced. Okay, so clear है limitation of first law of thermodynamics. Again I am repeating, it does not specify direction of heat flow, and second, heat and work are mutually convertible according to first law of thermodynamics, but it is not possible to convert all heat into work. Now let's come to the concept of heat engine. So for that, again I am going to use the dry cap. So please confirm whether blank page is visible to you.
Yes,
Blank.
sir.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
cyclic heat engine. So instead of presentation, it will be better to explain it on a board or a page. So let's come to the cyclic heat engine. Okay, so before coming to the statement of second law of thermodynamics, we'll go through the concept of cyclic heat engine, cyclic refrigerator and cyclic heat pump. So this is the cyclic heat engine. Okay, so let's take one of the example of a cyclic heat engine as a thermal power plant. ठीक है, तो थर्मल पावर प्लांट में सबसे पहले होता है बॉयलर. So let's say this is a boiler. Okay, so I am drawing a layout और अ लाइन डायग्राम ऑफ अ थर्मल पावर प्लांट. बॉयलर के बाद नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट कौन सा आता है थर्मल पावर प्लांट में? सो देयर इज अ टर्बाइन. So let's say this is a turbine. So this turbine is producing a power. Work here. Let's say Q1 is the amount of heat supplied in boiler. ठीक है, बॉयलर में हीट सप्लाई करना पड़ता है so that water inside a drum, water drum of a boiler get converted into steam and this steam will expanded over the turbine. तो ये दूसरा डिवाइस हो गया टर्बाइन. एंड टर्बाइन इज अ पावर प्रोड्यूसिंग डिवाइस. ठीक है, टर्बाइन के बाद आता है नेक्स्ट डिवाइस कंडेंसर. तो लेट्स से इट इज द कंडेंसर. तो कंडेंसर में क्या होता है, जो स्टीम बाहर आ रहा है टर्बाइन में से, दैट स्टीम इज कंडेंस. सो हियर हीट इज रिजेक्टेड. सो लेट्स से Q2 इज द अमाउंट ऑफ हीट रिजेक्टेड इन कंडेंसर एंड अगेन दिस स्टीम आफ्टर condensation it get converted into water and again this water is pumped back again to the boiler. So this is the pump. Okay. So let's say this is a turbine work WT. Turbine will produce a work and pump required a external work. So let's say WP is the amount of work required to drive the pump. Okay. So let's represent the state of working substance in thermal power plant is water or steam. Okay. So let's say water supplied to the boiler represent with 1. Then with water by using heat liberated due to combustion of fuel, this water will be heated. Okay, and once the temperature of water exceed the saturation temperature, that water will start to boil. So it will get converted into steam. So let's say 2 is the state of steam generated by boiler. So this steam will enter into the turbine where the expansion of steam takes place and we get a work output from the turbine shaft. Turbine shaft को हमको mechanical work मिलेगा. Let's say that is WT. Then steam coming out from turbine, it is at low pressure, low temperature. So this steam is passed through a condenser. यहाँ पे water होगा, circulate होगा. Okay, cooling water. There will be heat exchange between steam and cooling water. Steam का temperature ज़्यादा है, cooling water का कम है. So heat will be rejected from steam to the surrounding water. So condensation of steam takes place. So again this steam get converted into low pressure, low temperature water. And again this water is pumped back to the boiler. Okay, तो pump क्या करेगा, water का pressure फिर से increase करेगा up to the steam pressure. Okay, तो pump का function होगा वो तो pump this water back into the boiler and again at the same time increase the pressure of the water. That is the function of the boiler here. And let's draw a block diagram of this cyclic heat engine. So this is the heat engine. So line diagram of the heat engine. So I am writing a short form here, heat engine. Okay, and this heat engine is producing a power, work, W. Okay, so there will be a 2 temperature reservoir, the high temperature reservoir T1 and low temperature reservoir T2. So here we mention the condition T1 is greater than T2. Means T1 is the high temperature reservoir. Let's say T1 is high temperature reservoir. Which is also called as the source of heat, and T2 is the low temperature reservoir. Which is called as the sink. Okay, and generally this sink is atmosphere, and we consider atmosphere is having infinite capacity of heat. Any amount of heat removed from the atmosphere or any amount of heat rejected to the atmosphere, the temperature of atmosphere remain constant. That is a common assumption. In any branch of science. But again, we are well aware with the fact that the temperature of surrounding is continuously going on increasing due to global warming. Every year, almost there is increase in temperature of Earth by 0.5 degrees Celsius. Okay, it is due to addition of heat to the surrounding. Continuously, heat is rejected to the surrounding in the form of emissions from vehicles and emission from the factories as well as emission from the power plants. Continuously adding heat into the surrounding, and thereby the temperature of surrounding is going on increasing. That is called as the global warming. Okay, so here T1 is the temperature, high temperature reservoir, that is called as source. T2 is the low temperature reservoir, that is called as the sink. And let's say Q1 is the amount of heat that is supplied to the boiler here. Okay, and out of this Q1 amount of heat supplied, let's say W amount of work is produced, and the remaining Q2 amount of heat is rejected to the surrounding or to the low temperature reservoir T2. Okay, and again the meaning of the word cyclic heat engine means this is a device which operate on a cycle, so it will go undergo a cycle. Okay, so the cycle will be 1 2 3 4 1. So the cycle is thermodynamic cycle is 1 2 3 4 and 1. Okay, and we define the definition of cycle. If the initial and final state are identical, then that system is executing a thermodynamic cycle. Okay, so if you see here, initial state is 1, final state is 1. Okay, so this heat engine is a cyclic device which is undergoing a thermodynamic cycle. 1 to 2, there is heat is added into the boiler, and due to addition of heat, this water get converted into steam. 2 to 3, there is expansion of steam in a turbine, so we get work output here. 3 to 4, there is a condensation of the steam, and during this condensation, Q2 amount of heat is rejected. And again 4 to 1, this water condensate water is again pumped back to the boiler at high pressure by using a pump, and during this process WP amount of work is consumed by the pump. Okay, so we represented, this is the block diagram of a thermal power plant, and it is a example of a cyclic heat engine. Then we represented symbolically the heat engine. So this is the symbol of heat engine. So heat engine is operating between two temperature reservoir, high temperature reservoir, that is source, and low temperature reservoir, that is sink, that is generally atmosphere. Okay, so this heat engine is drawing or extracting Q1 amount of heat from the source. It is producing W amount of work, and it is rejecting Q2 amount of heat to the surrounding. Okay, so according to first law of thermodynamics, so use a cyclic device. So what will be the first law of thermodynamics applicable to heat engine? क्या होगा first law? So cyclic integral of Q is equal to cyclic integral of W. ठीक है? The first law of thermodynamics applicable to system executing a cycle. Cyclic integral of Q is equal to cyclic integral of W. So work एक ही है. So this work is equal to cyclic integral of Q. So Q1 is the amount of heat added, so it will be with plus sign, and Q2 is the amount of heat rejected, so it will be minus sign. Okay. So according to first law of thermodynamics, work output from heat engine is equal to Q1 minus Q2. Clear है? I think time is over. So let me download the attendance. If you have any doubt, please let me know. किसी को कुछ पूछना है?
Sir,
हाँ, यस
sir,
प्लीज. यस.
sir, can we use gas piston cylinder arrangement instead of steam power plant?
Yes, gas power plants are also there, but the main problem with gas is that the efficiency, thermal efficiency of the gas power plant is very low. Correct. Instead of steam, we can use a gas as a working substance. तो वैसे gas power plant भी है.
No, sir, gas piston cylinder arrangement.
What you want to say? Instead of piston cylinder arrangement?
No, sir, can we use gas piston cylinder arrangement instead of steam power plant?
Yes, we can use. Okay, but the main problem with gas that we get, for gas we have to depend on other countries. If you heard about, we are getting a gas pipeline from Iran, Iraq. So we are dependent upon other countries for the supply of gas, natural gas. Okay, and again the thermal efficiency of a gas power plant is less as compared to the thermal power plants, because steam कहाँ से बनता है? वाटर से बनता है, वाटर इज इजीली अवेलेबल. सबसे मेन एडवांटेज क्या है स्टीम का? स्टीम इज मेड फ्रॉम वाटर एंड वाटर इज इजीली अवेलेबल. इट इज ऑलमोस्ट फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट एंड इट इज abundantly अवेलेबल इन आवर कंट्री एज वेल एज इन द वर्ल्ड. 71% वाटर है अर्थ पे. So that's why steam is preferred. And again, heat content, enthalpy of steam. If we compare steam and gas at same pressure, let's say gas is at a pressure of 10 bar and steam is at a pressure of 10 bar. तो enthalpy steam की ज़्यादा होंगी as compared to gas. ठीक है, हमने स्टेडी फ्लो एनर्जी इक्वेशन में देखा. सो दिस वर्क आउटपुट फ्रॉम टर्बाइन इज इक्वल टू डेल्टा एच. तो जितना ज़्यादा एंथैल्पी से वर्किंग सब्सटेंस टर्बाइन में इंटर होगा उतना ज़्यादा वर्क आउटपुट मिलेगा. एंड द एंथैल्पी ऑफ स्टीम और टोटल हीट कंटेंट इन स्टीम इज मोर देन द अदर वर्किंग सब्सटेंस. दैट्स व्हाई स्टीम इज प्रेफर्ड इन पावर जनरेशन. 60% पावर जनरेशन जो होता है वर्ल्ड में, इट इज़ फ्रॉम थर्मल पावर प्लांट. I hope I am able to answer your query. Pradeep?
Yes, sir, so matlab.
Okay. So let's stop here, student. So we'll continue this cyclic heat engine in the next lecture. Bye, student. Have a nice day.